All right, Albert, without any further delay, we will...
Albert, thank you.
Begin a segment that we look forward to every Friday. We feature news from a state that always serves up the interesting, sometimes bizarre, sometimes gross, sometimes disturbing, but it's always something in Friday Fabulous Florida.
It's time for Friday Fabulous Florida.
There is a gigantic alligator in my kitchen.
A look at the weirdest stories from our weirdest state.
A dude has been arrested. He's behind bars. He hurled a package of Oreo cookies at his wife during an argument. They were arguing about the coffee maker not having any water in it. John Sandoval, 70, had enough. He was arrested and charged with felony domestic battery on a person 65 years or older. You remember in Florida, that really does get you a longer term. There he is. If you're watching on YouTube, he doesn't look bad. He doesn't look...
He looks like one of those mobster criminals from the old-timey movies. Hey, boss. Hey,
he does have a mobster quality to
Joe Box and Little Anthony.
He might be able to pass for Black... who is...
Joe Fish, Sarah Shoemaker, Joe Box and Little Anthony.
No,
Mo Black's brother, Fat Andy.
That's who I was thinking of.
If he just
Fat
squints
Andy.
his eyes a little, he'll be perfect.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the story, okay? So he's 70, and he's angry because she didn't put any water in the coffee maker. I mean,
does he not have hands? Can he not put the water in the coffee maker?
Well, you know what,
himself?
Kim? Maybe it's her job to put water in the coffee maker.
No,
How dare
no.
you automatically take her side?
Yes.
Sandoval's wife, who he's been married to and cohabiting with for over 40 years. I mean, it's 40 years of irritation of her not putting the water in the coffee maker.
They do this to me all the time. I don't know what the hell they do it for.
Let's hope he's still in jail so she can get a break. Jesus.
They've been doing it for 40 years to me. The coffee maker not having any water in it started as a verbal argument.
Of course.
And then Sandoval became aggressive. And then he did the unthinkable. He chucked a package of Oreo cookies at his wife, and it hit her in the chest.
Ow.
Mm-hmm. She was knocked to the ground by the Oreo cookies, Kim. Yeah.
That sounds like the beginning of like a
package is
90s baseball movie. He got a contract right after that.
Were these like the double stuff? Like they've got some weight to them?
He must have either thrown heat or there's more to the Oreos than we think, right? While she was on the ground, though, and because it's not over, allegedly, he put his hands on her throat.
Oh, no.
That escalated.
Didn't restrict her airway, she was quick to say. The incident wasn't reported until the next day after the woman's daughter urged her mother to press charges. There were not any obvious injuries observed by deputies. They caught up with Sandoval, admitted he did to picking up a package of cookies and throwing them at her. And he said he believed he hit her in the head, but he wasn't sure. And he has no recollection of grabbing her throat. He is in the Lake County Jail.
Excellent.
So, yeah, it's not.
If that happened in
here is a situation.
If that happened in California, it wouldn't be a felony because a police officer has to witness it. I was attacked as a bartender, and they said if you're not messed up, it won't be a felony unless a police officer witnesses it.
Wow, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Man,
they don't mess around in Florida. You throw
I
those
guess
Oreos.
not. Yeah, and that's
Fabulous producer John Daly.
Yeah, a Florida man is arrested in a road rage incident. It began with a tossed cup of coffee at Chick-fil-A. The incident began at this Chick-fil-A on Palm Coast Parkway. Oh, that's one of your favorite stops, John. Yeah. Imagine it being smeared like this. The suspect is a 36-year-old Donovan Matthews of Palm Coast. Albert will show him to you now for you YouTube viewers.
Albert, thank you.
Yeah. He got into an argument with a man and a woman. One of the people involved in the conflict threw a cup of coffee at Matthews before leaving the business. Apparently, Matthews then followed the man and the woman in his car before he struck their vehicle with his car.
Oh.
Wow. After that collision, both parties left their vehicles near the intersection of Deandra and Palm Coast Parkway. Matthews then continued the argument before attempting to strike the woman in the face. The man was on the receiving end of that strike as he moved to defend the woman before he and Matthews wound up on the ground. Matthews repeatedly hitting him.
That's some butt cheeks hanging out there.
We have pictures of this altercation. You can see them if you, those listening on podcast, you may want to go to YouTube to see the actual pictures. Matthews is being charged with multiple felonies, including aggravated battery and assault. It's hard, I know, when somebody throws coffee to leave it alone, but, you know,
at least
tracking
there was
them down
water in the coffee machine.
Yeah, I mean, it is coffee themed, Albert. Very well done.
Albert, thank you.
Yeah. How did you do that?
And Fox 35
Coachella
Orlando
Valley
never
coffee,
disappoints.
everyone. Coachella Valley.
Well, you wouldn't be throwing it out though if it was Coachella.
Yeah, you wouldn't be throwing out that coffee. It was Coachella. Very good. A wanted Florida woman lost a game of hide and seek Tuesday night. Deputies captured her hiding inside a couch. What? Stacy Usher is her name. She's 39. She'd been evading authorities in Citrus County since early November.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, she's done well.
Yeah.
Apparently, she violated her probation for the sale of, anyone?
Meth?
Methamphetamines.
That is what I would have guessed. Fentanyl was the word we were looking for.
Okay.
Meth is so like last decade.
Yeah, I guess. Again, I would have guessed similarly meth, probably. Fentanyl, and officials sharing a photo of the deputy who was on the case pulling, and you can see this right now. If this looks, let me tell you what's happening here. She's being pulled out of a couch. She's inside her couch where she was hiding underneath the cushions.
God, how does she even fit like that?
It's really impressive.
Face.
I mean,
maybe she hollowed it out.
It
Well,
looks
she
like she's
isn't. Her
wedged
last name is
in.
Usher, right? She knows how to find a seat. Right this
Wow.
way. Right this way.
Pretty amazing. I got to give her credit, but they did catch her, and so now she has to face the man. A Florida man's leap into a canal leaves the deputies who were chasing him
Alligators.
wondering what he was doing. This guy, Philip McGraw, swam through multiple canals in an effort to avoid arrest.
Dr. Phil?
Dr. Phil is, he is...
Phil McGraw?
But that doesn't mean that it's a good thing.
He is, isn't he Phil McGraw?
Yeah, he's Phil McGraw.
He literally is.
This is a man with anger. This is a man that has resentment towards you.
Wow, but this is not the same Dr. Phil.
I don't think you should
Okay,
apologize.
Maybe it
okay,
is.
but okay, it's not the same. All right. Are we out of Phil? Are we out of Dr. Phil drops now, or do I have to wait for more of them?
That's not Dr. Phil. What a disappointment.
It would be even better if it were Dr. Phil, but it's not. This guy swam through multiple canals trying to evade the cops, allegedly punching his neighbor in the face during an argument. Phil McGraw, as he's called, because that's his name, entered his neighbor's garage Sunday afternoon, approached the neighbor aggressively, then punched the neighbor in the face. Both men were on the street when McGraw's stepfather, James Jones, pulled up to the house. McGraw then gets into the passenger seat of Jones's vehicle, and they speed away. I mean...
Ooh, it's a wild idea, but it just might work.
Well, deputies tried to initiate a traffic stop on the vehicle, but Jones kept on screaming along. Jones then drove to McGraw's home, and McGraw fled on foot toward the canal behind the residence, and that's when things got really interesting. At some point, he jumped into a canal to avoid arrest. And they say, after swimming through multiple canals in an attempt to escape, McGraw was caught and arrested behind a residence on Crandall Court, which is...
But that doesn't mean that it's a good thing.
Oddly, Court is where he'll end up also.
And it looks like they have
when
a
take him out.
Seahawks license plate there.
Oh, I can't tell. Is that
the
correct?
highlighter yellow? No, the highlighter yellow.
That looks like the
Yeah,
sheriff's
that's
vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah, they've gone with the Seattle Seahawk yellow,
Right.
but it's of course
Strong
in Florida.
choice.
Do you think the cops think, oh yeah, we got him. He's swimming. He's gonna get tired. Like, let's give it an extra 15 minutes.
Throw in an alligator.
I was thinking
Go ahead.
They should have instead of a canine unit, just a little alligator.
alligator unit.
Yeah, well, again, someone's asking in the chat, Karen's asking, no alligators? Gator, Vicky asks. Aren't there gators in there, says Ricky. The answer is there are gators typically, but I think this time of year, as we detailed in a story last week.
The water's colder.
Yeah, the water's colder. They're kind of not as active. So
Now's the time to go swimming in Florida?
this is the time to go?
Yeah, I think
one of the deputies is actually heard on the...
we just know way too much about Florida at this point,
Yeah.
you know?
During the arrest, one deputy is heard reminding McGraw of a similar encounter with him just a couple of weeks prior. He said, hey, man, 2 or 3 weeks ago, you ran from us then. Same 2 people into your house when you had the warrant. McGraw was charged with burglary, and he's being held on $32,500 bond. So,
that's a specific number.
Yeah, it is. I can come up with the 32,000, but the 500 I can't. I gotta go pee, a woman says, as she pulls her pants down in the aisle during a Florida flight.
Oh,
What the
right.
hell is going on in the United States of America?
I'm telling you, this
Man,
woman...
this is not a Walmart.
No, exactly. There are places for this. They're called Walmart, Costco.
Not Costco. No
Doesn't
way.
this happen at Costco?
No.
You have to have membership to go there, Mark.
I
Very
see.
exclusive.
So
A
you're
little more highfalutin.
okay. A woman riding on a Frontier Airlines flight flashed her fellow passengers on Monday, pulled her pants down mid-flight. She was reportedly one of several passengers headed to Philadelphia from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
The woman indicated that she intended to relieve herself in the aisle after reportedly being told that she couldn't use the bathroom.
Ooh, it's a wild idea, but it just might work.
Other passengers on the flight can be heard shouting at her, one saying that there were children on board. Get a hold of yourself. She was seen pulling her pants back up before yelling, I don't give an F. No S, F you. I gotta go pee. She eventually walked away and confronted a flight attendant. Meanwhile, another passenger on the flight can be heard saying, that poor little boy, referring to the young boy in the seat next to the woman. She confronted several of the other passengers aboard the flight.
That's real.
Yeah, she was screaming and cursing. Essentially, she
My bad.
made a big,
I'm sorry.
Made a big.
Everybody.
Made,
Are you serious?
oh yeah. Yeah, that's what it sounded like. An
There
upset.
was quite an outcry over that.
Yeah, they were. When she is standing in the aisle, dropping her pants for real. You know.
I like Wes's comment. She thought she was on Bart.
Yeah.
I thought. By the way, maybe the way to handle it is to let the woman use the bathroom. I mean, did that ever occur? I mean, I get it. Like, oh, everybody's got to be in their seat right now. Sometimes people have to go. I mean, I don't mean to take her. What she did is completely unacceptable. I don't mean to take her side, but I just feel as though, come on, guys. Sometimes this, they handle these airline flights like they're, like they're prisons. I mean,
well,
hey,
Frontier is catering to a certain crowd, so they don't exactly do a background check.
No, maybe that's it.
I
I mean,
will say,
spirit.
what kind of genius doesn't pee before you get on the plane? Really?
Yeah, but
Use
again,
the
I don't mean
restroom
to.
ahead of time.
The kind that flies Frontier.
All right. I mean,
I guess.
I know. I'm just saying, Kim, that sometimes you're waiting on the tarmac a long time. It does happen, Kim. I don't mean to speak, again
Mark, have
on
you
her.
peed on a plane before?
I
Coming to her defense awfully quick. Kim, we've all been there.
Yeah, I don't know.
How would you handle this? We
The
could try
flight's long.
ignoring it,
You're on the
sir.
A
tarmac.
76-year-old Florida man was arrested after he allegedly backed over a staff member at a car show deliberately for not letting him into the event. Anthony Guerrero Jr., who lives in the Villages. Yeah, baby.
Yes. Love
Where the
Villages.
seniors go to misbehave. Yeah.
There's a reason that this place is fun.
That's right.
You, the Villages is awesome.
The Villages does a lot of damage when they're not there on the weekends just hanging out. And apparently he's getting charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. That's the car, of course. After this thing happened in the Lady Lake area on a Saturday afternoon.
Grandpa, you can't hit people with the car. You just can't do it.
While trying to enter the car show event, a staff member approached Guerrero and told him to leave because of his aggressive behavior. Guerrero reportedly threw a piece of paper out of his car window toward another staff member before looking at the man who told him to leave and reversing his car right into him. Apparently, according to the guy who was hit, the dude did it purposely and maliciously. This is a quote, operated the vehicle in such a way to cause bodily harm because of being upset about being kicked out. The man who was hit was transported to a local hospital for a medical evaluation, condition not made immediately available, Kim.
He probably took one of those man-boosting pills that he bought off the other guy at the Villages.
You're right. There's a lot
What was called like Supercharge or something like that.
A lot of fake testosterone running through the seniors at the Villages. A Florida man who's irate whacks another man with a leaf blower. Yes, I know. It happens. I mean,
Ooh, it's a wild idea, but it just might work.
This is your Mad Libs.
Sometimes you get... It does feel very Mad Libs. You got to grab what's close by, guys, when you want to whack somebody else, and sometimes it's a leaf blower. A Florida man has found himself behind bars. He allegedly, again, hasn't been found guilty yet, whacked another guy with a leaf blower after a fender bender. Patrick Eitzen, 60, here he is, arrested, charged with burglary and battery and criminal mischief. It happened on Hibiscus Drive in Leesburg.
That's too bad. It sounds like a nice place.
Yeah. All the places in Florida sound nice.
Doesn't he look like he could be up for a mobster role?
Oh, he totally looks like a mobster. I mean,
Mo Black's brother, Fat Andy.
He does look like Mo Black's brother, Fat Andy.
You hit the wrong guy's car.
He's the enforcer.
Yeah. Let me tell you something, my friend. You're going to be sorry.
Yeah.
The deal is that there was a car crash. One of the people involved was
allegedly
struck with this leaf blower. The guy who was struck said that he was trying to operate his GPS while driving. That caused his work truck to hit a trailer. So the guy you're seeing right now it looks like he's capable of mischief, says Jim. The guy you're seeing was the guy who was hit. Okay, he's hit by this other guy.
His trailer.
But he didn't take it well. And this whole thing kind of started a chain of events. It caused his work truck to hit a trailer, again, because the guy was looking at GPS. That trailer then collided with another vehicle, and that's when this dude, who you're seeing, ran out of the house because his car was parked and hit by the other vehicle, and he was armed with a leaf blower. He was irate, bashed the leaf blower into the hood of the man's truck. The guy who was driving the truck opened the door, but Eitzen met him at the driver's side door, and he tried to tell Eitzen to calm down, that he was sorry, but he was socked with a leaf blower instead. A witness said that she saw Eitzen climb into the truck's cab, or try to. The man was inside, and he's striking him in the face, the witness said. The woman said that she told him to back away, but he did not heed her commands and kept pounding on the guy until the cops arrived. He's now being held on $26,000 bond.
He doesn't like his crimes to be interrupted. He's like,
yeah,
I was taking care of a thing.
Can't you see I'm doing something right now?
John says, never bring a rake to a leaf blower fight.
Well done. Well done. A Florida woman had 2 outstanding arrest warrants, and finally she's busted. The reason she was busted, though, is what makes this story measure up to what the commish, Albert, would curate as stories that are important in Florida. She has the 2 outstanding arrest warrants, and she still calls the cops to complain that someone stole her. It's a drug.
Weed?
Weed is right. John Daly. Yes.
There should be
Where
prizes.
are weed smokers at?
Yeah, if it was meth, you just make more.
Yeah. When you want your weed, you do want it. And Lily Rinker wanted her weed. She made the complaint at 2 a.m. She called the cops.
That's about right.
Yeah. And there she is.
Lily.
Sweet Lily Rinker. She looks so cute. Yep.
That's not fake. That's real.
She wanted to stay at home and get baked.
Yeah, she told the arriving officer that a man named Carlos, whom she'd only recently met, left her hotel room after taking a half a gram of pot from her. Now, half a gram of pot is $5 to $10 worth, apparently. She said she didn't know what to do, so she decided to call the cops. Police then discovered that she, the woman you're seeing in this beautiful booking photo, and she does look lovely, she's cute, she has outstanding arrest warrants in Palm Beach County. So she's been arrested, and she was arrested last year for striking her father in the face. And she is being arrested again. And it's sad because I think she's kind of cute, Albert.
I
really do.
sucker.
Yeah, she wouldn't be a mobster. She'd be like the vixen.
Something,
Yeah.
I need your
something
help.
deep and angry lurks within that innocent face.
Well, she's got some issues, Kim. It's
She wants her
true.
pot.
She struck her father, and she got convicted of a DUI earlier this year. So she's got some baggage, maybe you'd call it. But she has these full-on, I think they're like Tinder-like pics.
You
Don't
told
you
me
think?
you do
Albert,
like him a little crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're getting with her.
Yeah, you get a little but remember, as I've told you before, you want a little crazy because a little crazy is hot, but too much crazy, it can off you. You got to be very careful, you know. Here is what I'm talking about, YouTube viewers. See, she's cute. There's one other shot of her, and she looks cute. So she's got a cute thing. If she could only turn that cuteness into goodness and niceness.
She looks great in the orange already. Look at that.
She just wants to get stoned, go to Taco Bell.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. Don't call the cops at 2 a.m. because somebody stole your stash. I mean, just don't do it. All right. We don't like to do this, but we must. The bylaws of our program require us to pick a favorite. Let me remind you of the favorites, and I don't know if Albert has a poll going. Do you have a poll going, sir?
I do. With man throws Oreo and coffee, I combine those two stories.
Okay.
Woman had to go on plane, leaf blower attack, and don't steal her weed. Those are your options.
Those are your options in the chat to vote.
Albert, thank you.
And if you are watching in replay or listening, please register your choice. We do pay attention to your choices after hours, in after hours commenting. Again, I'll remind you, Florida man who hurls the Oreos at his wife during an argument over the empty coffee maker. The Florida man arrested in a road rage fit that began with a tossed cup of coffee at Chick-fil-A. The Florida woman who was wanted is on probation for selling fentanyl, found hiding inside her couch.
That's a pretty good one.
Florida man's leap into the canal leaves pursuing deputies asking in body cam video, what the hell is he doing? The I gotta go pee lady during that Florida flight on Frontier Airlines where she drops her pants down in the aisle, yelling, I gotta go pee, and a lot of F-bombs and S-bombs. A Florida man upset that he wasn't let into the car show, backing over the guy who said he can't go in. By the way, he was bounced from the car show for being too aggressive. And then the Florida man who was angry that his car had been hit in that car wreck, who jumps out of his house carrying a leaf blower, runs to the truck that had initiated the accident, and starts beating the crap out of the guy with the leaf blower in hand. And finally, of course, that cute Florida woman who at 2 a.m. called the cops because part of her stash had been ripped off by a guy, quote, named Carlos. That is your group. What is your favorite? I will start with you, John Daly.
Fabulous producer, John Daly.
This is tough. I like peeing in the aisle, but I think I have to go with couch usher.
Couch usher, very, very strong, John.
Very Florida, very original.
Albert, let's ask you. What's your favorite? You curate this segment every week. What do you like this week?
The plane is great and it's leading the vote, but a special legacy vote for me today for anything that happens through the villages. So just a body of work award goes to into
like a lifetime achievement.
Yeah, exactly. So
the guy from the villages who
who backed his car into the worker.
Yes, okay, that's very good. Couch all the way says there's a lot of love for the couch from Denise from Square. Leaf blower from Chickasaw. Vicky says Carlos is bad news. Kim, what's your favorite?
How are you?
What's your favorite?
I have to pick the pee on a plane. I mean, come on, how tacky can you be peeing on a plane?
Yeah, that's pretty over the top. I agree with you. It's pretty tough to walk that back. You know, sometimes you see these people who lose it and you go, well, maybe they could apologize their way out of this. There's just no way to walk that back. You know, you were capable of dropping your pants and screaming F and S at a whole cabin full of people. I mean, that's just pretty crazy. So I hear you on that. But this is hard, I think, this week. I am going to go with I'm going with the lady who, for me, it's between the couch and the coffee maker incident.
Really?
It's like a photo finish. I guess I'll go with the couch. All right.
Yeah.
Lady with outstanding warrants hiding on the couch. That's very, very strong. Yeah. As I say, and what was leading the vote, Albert?
The woman who had to go on the plane. She kind of ran away with it.
Oh, okay.
40%.
40%. That's Friday Fabulous Florida for today.
This has been Friday Fabulous Florida.
There is a gigantic alligator in my kitchen.
Y'all come back now, here.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.